Good morning, campers. We might be about to die. So we're gonna try and finish the bush trip again. So one of the updates broke the bush trips. I was flying them and I could not get the next leg to complete at Bodad Airstrip. So we got another update since then, and I've installed it, and it seems to have moved my airplane into the sky. Hopefully going forward, but Lord only knows. I really hope we're... Gosh, I hope I'm not just going to fall out of the sky. All right, let's get ready for this. We're going from Marysville to Bodad. I don't see the runway underneath us, so I'm assuming this is just like where I stopped on my most recent attempt. Yeah, looks like we're moving. Cool. Yeah, good. Is that me? No, it's not me. Okay. Interesting. So who did I just see? Oh, I bet that was an AI plane. I bet that was an AI plane. All right, well, let's get our trim back to where we want it. Let's get it about 4,000 RPM. Okay, let's pop outside. Where are we? Okay, so Marysville's just right behind us. We haven't gone hardly anywhere. Am I good on fuel? Let's just go ahead and top that off just in case. Yep, we're fine. All right, cool. So that's encouraging. So, yeah, so what happened? So, update came out that basically broke the bush trips. So you could not complete one that was already in progress. It fixed the achievements and stuff for finishing bush trips, but it forced you to completely start over again. And I wasn't about to do that because I've put an annoying amount of time into this already. So we want our beacon light on. So yeah, we are just back in the plane, back to flying around, doing our thing. And we're gonna go land on Bodad like nothing ever happened. I'm sorry you missed the takeoff. Apparently I did that in a different video. It's fine. So departing from Susanville, California, Route 36 transitions into the southern branch of US 395 as the road winds its way toward the mountains in distance. Eventually you arrive at the northwest shore of Honey Lake. That's here. Continue along the highway past this World War II era bomb testing site. Begin gaining altitude for the stretch ahead. So, further down the highway, you'll see a mountain rise far off in the distance. Before you reach it, you'll come to a fork in the road. One path bends around the mountain. The other runs directly towards it. We're going to follow that. So that'll be the town of Milford, California. Last Chance Creek. So head deeper into the hills, climb over the mountain ridge, continuing along your heading. Soon you come to a clearing, cut through the vast expanse of Last Chance Creek, inviting you to follow it southeast. Last Chance Creek continues flowing southeast as the creek meanders south and eventually crooks back toward the southeast. At that point, you'll pass another mountain road junction as you continue along the creek's path. Eventually, the creek opens up into a vast clearing, and just beyond it, heading southeast, you'll find a quaint grass runway on the edge of a thick forest to the east. This is Bodad Airstrip landing spot for this leg of the journey. So, last time I tried this, go away. You can just hide. Actually, I want to point out where we are on the VFR map. Also, make sure you open the VFR map as soon as you take off, because there's a bug currently that makes it not work super well. So we are currently right around here. If we kind of look, yeah, there we go. If you look down and to our right, just gonna, there's the highway, and back up. So yeah, we're flying just right above that now. So we're going to continue down toward Milford. The town of Milford should be right about here, which is, a little bit up here, and we'll head over into the mountains. Should be nice and easy, I hope. It's never going to be easy, but I've already done this landing several times, so I know exactly where this is. What happened last time is, so once we're going to follow along the edge of the thing and then go over the mountains, and yeah. Should be a lot easier this time than the first attempt to record this, which you guys, I don't think so. I don't think I uploaded that. No, I definitely didn't upload that. So, y'all, it was interesting. So, the first time I attempted this trip, the game decided I did not have an adequate internet connection. I have gigabit, by the way. The game decided my internet connection wasn't good enough for streaming ground textures, and I did not realize this. I just thought it looked really bad today for some reason. Wrong button. Oh, right, I don't have air traffic control on. That's fine. I just thought it looked really bad for some reason. And, well, it turns out I just didn't have any ground textures loading in. So, of course, it looked bad. Alright, this is going to be our screenshot for today. Damn! That's pretty. Oh, it looks so much better when the game's actually working right. Yeah, so I didn't have the ground textures loading in, and it turns out you kind of need the ground textures for this next airport because it doesn't exist except as the ground texture. There is no anything to this airport if you don't have the online ground textures. The only way to find the airport without those textures is to find the single building. There's a hangar right next to where the runway should be, and that building is in the game even if you don't have the ground textures. So you can find that hangar, land next to it, and just pull up to the hangar. Hopefully, I'll try parking in front of the hangar to see if that triggers it. So you'll know if you are playing without the ground textures where you need to stop relative to the building. I hope. But if you don't have the ground textures, it's nothing there. It's just an empty field. You've got no indication that that's the airport whatsoever. I just happen to have a pretty good sense of direction, so I was able to figure out, no, this is exactly where the airport should be. And then that was that. So we're going to need some altitude to get over these hills. Let's go ahead and just throttle up to about 5,000. Actually, honestly, you know what? That's way more than I need. I want to try and like find a nice stable climb without having to change my trim. Ooh, that looks pretty good. That might be good enough. Alright, so the fork in the road should be around here. I think that's the town of Milford up ahead, and then the road goes whoop, up into the mountains. And that is exactly what we are going to do. We're aiming, you know, a little bit to the right of the fork, but it should still get us into the valley we need to be in. And gosh, it's so much easier to find this airport when you can actually see the river that you're supposed to be following. Because the creek literally goes directly through the airport. The runway crosses the creek on a small bit of dirt, just like piled into the creek. Lovely lake. The landing strip we were at started with an H. Hurlong's over here somewhere. Like, this is super close to cutting back on ourselves. Yeah, there's H37. We are like right about here, and that was another airport that we stopped at on this trip. Also, we've turned up some of the graphics settings a little tiny bit just to make everything look a little nicer. Because flying out in the middle of nowhere like this, you can. My computer was actually able to get 20 frames per second out here out of Ultra, which surprised me. We're not playing Ultra right now because I'm not, like 20 frames per second is not good enough for video games anymore. It used to be fine. Like I accepted 20 frames per second from FSX back in the day, but you know, I need at least 30. 30 is like bare minimum. So 30 is what we are playing on. So I happened, so in my quest to find the airport, because I just assumed I was in the wrong spot since the game wasn't counting my landing. So in my quest to make sure I was at the right airport, I did actually find I found the Facebook page for Bodad Airport, and they got some great photos on there. If you want to search them on Facebook, do that. Let them know that, hey, they're in a video game now, because I didn't. And I don't think anyone from Flight Simulator did either. But, yeah. All right, so there's the fork in the road that it's talking about, so you want to follow this up into the hills. This is our fork. And we're going to bear a little bit to the left. That way we are kind of staying on with the road. Because remember, you don't want to be directly on top of the thing you're following unless it stretches out a really long way ahead of you. Because you can't see straight down in this plane particularly well. You can kind of like edge over to the side and then look down, but you know, you really need the thing to be off to the side. This plane needs a glass floor. That's what this plane needs. It's hard to see out of a tail dragger, you know? But yeah, so finding the Facebook page also included, because apparently they just do fly-in events all the time. So the Facebook page also included the proper landing procedure for this airport, and that's what we're going to try and do. And there were quite a few variations of the Cub parked at that airport in their little all of Facebook pictures. So it was really kind of cute, kind of fantastic. It's like, oh, this really is the perfect place for this kind of a trip to stop off at. Similar in the vein of the Sulphur Creek Ranch that we landed at in Idaho in a previous video. Very pilot-friendly location. Gosh, everything's gorgeous out here. So the valley we want is kind of down here-ish. There's a big lake, and if you find the lake, you've gone too far. We'll get the lake, a little more of the lake in the next video, which is when I flew this the first time, I was expecting an actual runway, so I just flew right over it and kept going to the lake, and I'm like, I've gone too far, because there's a lake now. So I haven't actually done the entire flight with the proper scenery loaded in on the ground. So I am curious to see how this looks. I've only flown this with default ground textures, which I might add look awful, if I haven't said that enough lately. So there's our road coming through the mountains up here, I think. It's actually a really difficult little road to keep track of, to be entirely honest. So yeah, we're just gonna bear left, moose right, just kind of make sure we're just traveling in the correct direction for where we want to go. I think this might be our creek. I hope that's our creek. It does look extremely creaky. And there's another road coming over the mountain. Doesn't look paved, however. Alright, so I think that's our creek right here. I don't know which direction of the creek we are supposed to follow. I know where we need to end up. I don't know exactly how to follow the directions to get us where we're going. Hopefully this is kind of correct. That certainly does look like a creek, doesn't it? I have to assume this is the correct one. Yeah, okay, so there's a little more of it. Do-do-do-do. Ah, yeah, so it goes and then around. Okay, yeah, cool. We're following the right thing. We're following the right thing. This is our creek down below us. We're gonna just keep on following this as it winds through this valley. Gosh, this is so much, makes so much more sense now than it did without any textures at all. I don't know where the intersection is that the game wanted you to turn at, but, you know, we found our creek and we've got a road running roughly alongside it. So I think that's a victory for us. Just bank a little bit to the right so we can get a better view. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. There's our road and our creek. I've accidentally throttled up a little bit. I should pull that back. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. No, I wonder what that is. That looks like a house that didn't get rendered. A big house that did not get rendered. That's fine. We all make mistakes. So you kind of see like a game-generated road going into the woods there. I have no idea what that's supposed to be following. Not a clue. It doesn't make any sense. Like the roads through the woods here just are nowhere close to where they should be. Like the textures have the roads on them, and the roads that the game has generated are not matched up with the texture, which is not surprising. Kind of see that a lot in this. All right, we are getting close. At some point, we're gonna like go around a corner, and the airport's just gonna be right there, and I'm gonna be like, "That's it, that's it, we're landing." So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put my feet back on the pedals. It's just, I've got pajama pants on, so I gotta make sure they're not getting in the pedals. Don't ever fly in pajamas, folks. Not in real life, anyway. Video games, always fly in pajamas. Real life, no flying in pajamas. Unless you have just like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's not the airport. Unless you just have like the best company ever that you work for as a pilot that lets you fly in pajamas. If I owned an aviation company, I would let my pilots fly in pajamas. All right, bearing left. Oh yeah, we're getting close now. Getting real close. No, look over the nose. You can see the game has generated some traffic down there. Nowhere near the road. It's fine. All right, we're gonna bank right, keep following the creek. Start looking for that runway. We're a bit low, and I don't care. I actually do care a little. Let's get some altitude. Oop, this might be it. This might be it. This clearing here. Some Interesting texture going on there. Not sure what's going on with this. That's not the airport though. So it's fine. It could be like that. Just trying to make really sure we're not missing the airport here. No, that's not it. If we get to the lake, we've gone too far. Simple as that. Now we are descending. Oh, that's not good. Let's get some altitude. Everybody likes altitude. There we go. That got us some altitude. That was a good bump in our height. Oh, is this trying to do this off? Oh, yeah, that's it. Down below us to the left. See it? See the runway? Real difficult to see. Actually, we're gonna pop the drone cam out and look at it real quick. Yeah, see it? Real tricky. All right, back into the cockpit. Oh, wrong button. Back into the cockpit. There we go. So, proper landing procedure. As we've come alongside it there, we're gonna bleed a bunch of speed here. Now remember, don't drop your flaps during a turn. Watch out for these trees. All right, we're out of the turn. Flaps. Coming in a little bit too low. It's all right, we're over the runway. All right, we got one good bounce there. Because we did kind of hit a little bit below the hill. All right, let's pop our view out. See what I mean about there being like nothing to this runway? Flaps up. Doop. Yeah, look. All right, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop, don't stop. All right, we've stopped. Oh no. Oh no, it's not counting. I'm terrified now that it's not going to know that we are here. Oh yeah, so this building is the one you have to look for if you don't have the ground texture, because you can't see the landing strip without the satellite image. It literally does not exist without the satellite image. So we're just gonna pull up in front of the hangar and stop, and hopefully that will count. Again. Alright, so we got a little lag there, so I think I'm in the, I think I'm in what the game considers the runway. Alright, we've got to be careful about coming to a complete stop here. I have I definitely, while trying to find the actual runway spot, flip the plane at least once. So we're going to stop directly in front of the hangar and see if that counts. Count. Game. Game. I didn't fix it. No! Alright, let's pull out on the runway and see if that'll do it. Maybe it just doesn't count this spot as part of the airport proper. Well, we've accidentally stopped here. Let's see if that counts. Nope. This is rapidly becoming disheartening. Alright, so let's just stop in the middle of the runway and see what happens. Alright, this is runway. Brakes. Please count. Why? Alright, let's shut off the engine, see what happens. Alright, back inside. No proper parking brake here, so our only option is to strobe light off, and turn the key off, and ignition off. Boy, that sure didn't cut off the engine, did it? Choke. Turns out I don't know how to turn this plane off. Would you believe? Oh, you can't turn off both the... Okay, it won't let you turn off that ignition switch. Fascinating. Can't turn off the engine in this. That's fine. Well, that's the airport you're supposed to fly to for this leg. It's not counting for me at the moment, so presumably not fixed. Rats. I was really hoping that bug was fixed. But, you know, here it is, I guess. I'll just kind of hang out here until the game gets fixed. Thank you all so much for watching. My name's ElioDare. You can find me on the internet at ElioDare on Xbox Live, Steam, and whatnot. Come say hi, especially if you're on Twitter, because I'm on Twitter all the time. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave comments below, and I do read them all because I'm still a tiny channel, and it, you know, it's cool to actually get some interaction from folks. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day. Sorry this was kind of a disappointing one. Next time. Maybe.